I want to talk about something that's really important. Whether you know it or not, your beliefs actually create your reality. I know I'm at the risk of sounding like one of those chicks who collects crystals and tell you their horoscope. She's wearing hemp jewelry and shit.
I need you to tell me you believe in crystal skulls.
I don't want to sound like one of them. That's why I want to show you guys how this affects you from a scientific standpoint. If you don't understand this, how your beliefs actually create your reality and shape your world, then you can potentially end up being a victim to this as opposed to being the cause. You can be effect instead of cause. What do I mean by this? Well, check this out. I'm gonna show you a study. It was done by a guy named John Haggard. In this study, what the doctor did was he had some patients who had problems with their leg, and there was an operation that they would perform on these people to give them some more mobility. This is back in the day, whatever. This doctor, instead of actually performing the operation, he did like a sham operation. Like he cut them open, fucked around in there, fucked around in their bodies, and then sewed them back up, basically pretending to do what he said he was gonna do. And then the people reported a year later the same amount of improvement as people who had the real operation. It's the placebo effect at work. Then there was another study. This was done in 1996, where they had these people who had chronic pain. They didn't give them anything. This was just placebo. There was no control. The placebo was the experiment. They gave them the bullshit painkiller, and people reported significantly decreased pain, improvements in their condition, just because they believed this was happening. But let's go even further. I'm gonna bring you up one more. This is probably the most interesting of the studies I have for you. This one's called Mind Over Milkshake. This was done in 1977. And here's what the researchers did. All the participants in this study, they gave them all milkshake. There was about 300 calories per shake. And they tested their hormones before and after. They gave all of them the same shake, about 300 calories. But they told half of the participants that the milkshake was like 600 calories. It was a calorie dense shake. They told the other half that it was like less than 100 calories. It was actually like a diet shake. Keep in mind, it was the same. When they tested their hormones after, the people who thought that it was a high calorie shake saw a decrease in a hormone called ghrelin. Ghrelin is a hormone, it's called the hunger hormone, and it signals to your body that you're hungry and you need to go eat more. The people who thought that they had a fatty shake saw decreases in that and they were less hungry. The people who thought that they had a diet shake saw huge increases in ghrelin and they reported that they were still hungry. What I'm trying to say is the belief changed their bodies on a hormonal level. And this is science. I'm not trying to sound like one of these people who collect different color rocks and all that crazy shit. This really happened. You can see the real response to it from a hormonal level just based off what they believed they were eating. What does all this mean? Check this out. That's you, bro. You're doing good, living life. And then you have reality. However, your reality is filtered through your beliefs, your biases. So everything is filtered through this, through your beliefs. You may see this because it goes through that filter. Does that make sense? If you put on some blue colored glasses, everything is going to be blue. This is your reality, but that doesn't mean that it is reality. Brandon, what the fuck are you talking about? I know that's what you're thinking. Bear with me. Your reality, you will experience and you will feel it. This is all that really matters. So for example, let's say I believed that all black people are lazy. I can use that because I'm of African descent. You know what I'm saying? No condoms forever. Whatever Black Panther was saying, man. You believe that all black people are lazy. That's what you're gonna see because it's filtered through this lens. So you're gonna see the homeless dudes outside, or you're gonna see welfare blacks and all that other shit. And it'll cause you not to see Barack Obama. He's not lazy, despite what you think of him. Lil Wayne. Of course he's not lazy, man. All the mixtapes he put out, that's a lot of content. It's a hardworking brother. Big Brandon Carter, throwing up mad videos a day. It's not lazy. Believe that if you go through this filter. That's the outside world. But what about your world? Pay close attention to this. Your beliefs affect your emotions. Your emotions affect your actions, and your actions affect the results that you get in life. And then those results will reinforce your beliefs and they become a cycle. For example, my girlfriend, I hear her laughing in the background. Hey, I asked her if I could tell this story. She was under the impression that her butt got smaller because she hadn't been eating this. She believed her butt got smaller. She like really believed it, okay? And that was causing her to feel what? Sad. You know what I'm saying? That was the emotion she was feeling. What was the action? The action was she was moping around the house. Oh, I got a little butt now. no mas culo, por favor, para mí, all that shit. And that shaped her reality. And I was telling her, listen, baby, you still got a big old butt. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this thing every day. I seen it more than you. I promise you that. I assure you. I've studied this thing, the ins and outs. I know this thing like the back of my hand. And she didn't believe that. But we remembered that the first day I met her in person, I measured her butt. Long story. She wanted to start working out. So we took her measurements and we had the measurement of her butt. You know what I'm saying? And it was 36 inches. A nice sized butt, especially for such a small woman. So we said, go get the measuring tape. Let's just see. We went and measured it. The butt was 38 inches. The butt was bigger. So, check this out. She believed that her butt was smaller because she looked at reality through this lens. She believed it and she was sad about it. Are you getting this? Your beliefs shape your reality. Let me give you another example. I never get sick. Now, it could be because I'm just that nigga. I'm just the coolest motherfucker. It could be that. Or it could just be because I believe I won't. Back when everybody was catching, I thought we weren't supposed to say that on YouTube. Back when everybody was getting C19, you know, I'm walking around New York like I am legend. And my girlfriend, she got C19. She got it. I'm eating food off her plate. I'm kissing her in the mouth. We having unprotected sex. I'm looking C19 dead in the eye and calling it a bitch. Guess what? I never got it. My boy, he had, I think they call them super spreader events. Peak C19. He had a huge mastermind at his house and he asked me to speak because he wanted it to be good. And he had 50 some people there. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll show up. I pulled up, gave the best speech of the night as usual, shaking everybody's hands, blah, 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 doing all the shit. Then I leave. Yo, 2/3 of the attendees got C19 after that. Not me. I did get C19 at one point. That's because my son had got it and he had a lot of symptoms and shit. And he sneezed in my mouth. He's 5, man. You have 5-year-olds, they always do shit like that, man. It's a wacky age, man. He sneezed in my mouth, not on purpose. Here's the thing, I didn't even know I had C19. His mom gave him a test and said, oh, he's got it. And I just tested myself later and it looked like, okay, I had it, but I had 0 symptoms. Motherfuckers out here dying and shit. All types of gizmos hooked up to him. And I'm over here, man, I feel nothing. I say all that to say, I really believe that I don't get it because I believe I won't get sick. I haven't been sick in 6 years. Not so much as a cold and sniffle because I believe it. And it may sound crazy until you go back to this milkshake study when you realize that when people believe they had higher calories, they were less hungry. When people believe they had lower calories, they were more hungry. It wasn't like a mental thing. It was a biological thing. That belief affected their hormones. So you got to alter your beliefs. You probably have some beliefs that are limiting you. You probably have all types of beliefs that are holding you back. You have to audit these on a consistent basis. What does this mean for you? Let's say you have a goal and the goal has results. So you want to make $10,000 a month. The result would be, hey, $10,000 in your bank account every month. Cool. Now, in order to get that, obviously you're going to have to perform some actions. Here's where it gets self-fulfilling. People talk about actions, but they never talk about the emotions, because when you perform an action, the mental state you're in or the emotions you have while you're performing that actions actually affect how effective that action is. For example, let's say your dog dies. Boom, somebody shoots your dog in the head. It's fucked up, but you got to work out. Let's say you decide to still go to work out because you're a G, even though your dog just got shot in the head. You're probably not going to have a great workout. It's going to affect the quality of that action. So that workout was not as effective. Or let's say you just watch one of Brandon Carter's old motivational videos. Maybe you watch Excuses Are for Bitches. Then you go work out because that's going to put you in a different state. Might be your best workout ever. Probably going to hit PRs. You're going to lift all the weights and then that's going to lead to better results. The emotions that you have while you're performing actions really counts. Think about the last blowjob you had. Presumably some of you have experienced blowjobs before. Now imagine if she was like, ugh, I gotta, like she was in a negative state before she put it in her mouth. That action's not gonna be as effective. But imagine if she's excited. What if she's like super excited and she's like scrambling for that motherfucker? That enthusiasm is gonna impact on the effectiveness of that action. That makes sense? Hope you guys are getting this. Here's the problem. A lot of you guys, you may focus on the results now. Boom. And then you're going to feel sad because if you have a goal and you're like, oh, I'm not there yet. And you're going to be saying, oh, I'm not there, man. I don't have it. That's going to affect the actions you take. Even if you're just thinking, I can't do it, or I don't know if I can do it at all, or will I ever get that $10,000 a month, whatever it is, it's going to affect the emotions. So what I want you to do, I want you to experiment with this, guys, is to not think about the results at all and just focus on the actions. Just focus on the action, every action, each individual action, and just believe that you can perform that action well. I'm not telling you to believe you can make $10,000 a month and it's just going to appear. List out all the actions you need to perform in order to attain that goal. Don't think about the results. Don't think about the big goal you have. Just think about the next step. I believe I can do this next step. And that changes everything. Now you're performing every action with a positive emotion. Now, what if you can't be positive? What if you don't know if you can do it? Just don't be negative. Be neutral. Just be like, oh, I'm going to do this action to the best of my ability. That's cool. Maybe it work, maybe it won't. I don't know. But what you don't want to do is you cannot be negative. If you can't be positive, it's like too far away for you. You can't bullshit yourself. I'm not telling you to just be confident. Just say some affirmations. The thing about affirmations is your brain knows is bullshit. So if you can't genuinely be positive, then at least just don't be negative. Step 2 is watch your self-talk. If anybody around me says something about themselves that I know they don't want to be true, I stop them immediately. I'm like, hey man, don't say stuff about yourself you don't want to be true. I'm saying that all the time. Don't say stuff about yourself that you don't want to be true. Serious about this. It's like foreign to me to say these things out loud, but I've heard other people say, oh man, I just can't stay motivated to work out. Yo, stop saying that. You got to reframe it. It's like, I'm working on improving my motivation. Both are true. It's just one sounds like a bitch. One sounds like you just giving up, throwing in the towel like a little hoe. The other one sounds like I'm out here trying to make this happen. I've heard people say, no matter what I eat, I can't seem to lose weight. I've tried everything. Don't say that shit. You already sound defeated. You've given up. What you want to say is, I'm working on trying to find the right diet for me that I can actually adhere to, be consistent with. Because that sounds like a person who still got his eye on a prize. I used to have an employee who used to always say, I'm not good with technology. And I bought this dude a microphone or some shit like that, like USB microphone, because he believed he wasn't good with technology. It was filtered through this lens. How did it affect his actions? He didn't even open the box. He didn't even try. Here's the thing. He's done way more difficult shit. All he had to do was plug it in. But his negative beliefs about his ability to deal with modern technology made it so he did not even try. Now, I'm not telling you to bullshit yourself. If you're not good with technology, you got to say, man, I'm working on improving my technology skills. Everything's got to be framed from that way. Both things are true. But if you say, oh, I'm just not good with it, that's a motherfucker who just threw in the towel. And then you won't try to hit your goals. Your reality will be filtered through your beliefs. If you believe that you're not good with technology, that will end up being your actual reality. If you believe that your butt got smaller, you will live in that world. Even though the real reality is, hey, she had a big butt, she was still living and feeling the emotions of a smaller butt. But it works on a biological level too. Like this study, these people believed that they got a low calorie shake and so they were hungrier. The people who believed they got a high calorie shake were less hungry. I just want you to know that it actually affects you on a biological level as well. It's not just your brain, it's actually your hormones. I believe I don't get sick, no matter how sick motherfuckers are next to me. And that's been my experience over the last 6 years.